Hey, it's Annie. Today I thought I would talk about makeup brushes. These are not specifically eye brushes. I'm looking what's in front of me here. These are a little bit of everything. These are brushes that I use all the time. So I wanted to talk about the brushes that I like, but I also want to talk about what to look for in a brush. So if you're looking for brushes and you're not sure, you know, what you need or whatever, we're just gonna get into that. So we're gonna talk about eye brushes, face brushes. We're gonna get into all of that. Really quickly, before we get started, please make sure you click that button below, hit the subscribe button. I share new videos every single week. Also click on that notification bell. Anytime I share a new video, you will be notified. Always make sure you leave me a comment. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up. Helps my channel and helps you stay in the loop of all of my videos. So let's get into this. I don't even know where to start. One thing I don't do is I don't apply my foundation with a brush. I just feel like, because my skin is always turning over because I use Retin-A, that I feel like if I use a foundation brush, I feel like when I'm putting it on, I'm exfoliating my skin, so I don't like to do that. So that's one thing I really don't use is a foundation brush anymore. I just use my beauty blender. But brushes that, I love all the brushes that I have, and I want to, like I said, we're going to talk about the different brushes and why they're so important. So this brush, if you've been following me for a while, you know how much I love this. This is from IT Cosmetics. And one side is kind of like a little fluffy side, and the other side's like a short little side there. So this is what I use this for. I don't use this side all of the time. I use this one more. But what I will use this side for, and by the way, I just want to tell you this really quick too. Some of the brushes, like I will use brushes that for other purposes and what they're really for. I just do that. If it, you know, an eye brush works better because of the shape or style for me, you know, and it's supposed to be a blender, but it, applies the shadow better, then I will use that. Mama needs a drink of water. I love this brush. Like I said, I will use this just to kind of blend out my blush a little bit. Sometimes I do that just to get a softer edge. But mostly what I love about this is this side. I love it. It's just a nice little fluffy brush, and what I will use this for is underneath my eye makeup. So when I apply my concealer, sometimes I still get a little bit of settling in there right after I put it on. So I will take this and lightly, I'll just go right in here and just lightly go right over it. I love this brush. That's mainly what I use this for. I love it. And another thing that I will do with it, if I have any settling in here, I'll just go in there and like that. I love this brush. It's one brush that I use all the time. It has to be in my collection. Just love it. Highly recommend it. Now for my blush, I've used a lot of different blush brushes, but this brush has been my favorite for the last couple years. I love the shape of it. It's very unique. So this one is from Sigma. It's the E25, and it says it's a tapered face brush. So you can see that, how it's kind of tapered like this. So some of the bristles are kind of short in there, and then they kind of get longer up in here. But I love how when I dip my brush into the, like this is supposed to be, this is pretend blush. So when I dip my brush in there, I just like that it just picks it up right there, and then I can just fluff it in, and it just blends really nice and seamlessly. I really, really love this brush. Another brush that's very similar actually in shape and style is this one, and this is from Sigma too. This is the E37. This is the brush I use for highlighting. I love this one. I know this seems kind of big for a highlighter, but I just dip in, just the tip of it, I'll dip in, and it just blends it out really nicely. Another one that I've used, but I don't like it as much, is my little fan brush. And this one's from IT Cosmetics. I don't even think it has a number on it anymore now. It doesn't have a number on it, but it's from IT Cosmetics. It's just a fan brush. This one's nice to have though too, because if I get like a little ick on my face, this will work to get it off. But I don't do the highlighter like a lot of the young girls do with it. I prefer to use this one instead. This is a drugstore brush, and I really, really like it. This is the Real Techniques powder brush. I love this brush. I've been using this brush for, how long have I been using this brush? For many months now. I love how fluffy it is. It feels so nice and soft when I just take my powder and just all over my face with it. I love this brush. So that's what you want to look for, by the way. When you're looking for a powder brush, you want to get something like this that's nice and fluffy like that. See how nice and fluffy it is? You wouldn't want to put powder on with a brush like that. That's nice, like I said, for highlighter. And honestly, you could even use a brush like this for putting on your blush if you wanted to. I just prefer to use something a little bit bigger, and that's why I use this one. So love it. That's what you want to look for. Another one that's nice, but it's not as fluffy, and that's why I prefer this one better, is the Too Faced powder Mr. Right. I was using that for a while. I like it, but can you see the difference? This is so much nicer. So look for something that's really fluffy like this, and for the price point, you cannot beat it. Now, one brush that I love, 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 and I don't know if they make this brush anymore, and so many people ask me about this. I'm just kind of wiping it off. So many people ask me about this brush because this is the brush that I use when I apply my contour. So this is a brush from Chanel, and I love how fluffy it is. Can you see how fluffy it is? And I love how it's angled. So a brush like this is great to use for bronzer. Do you see how it perfectly fits on my cheek, how it's a little bit wider there or narrow there? That's why I like to use this brush. I'll see if I can link something similar because I don't know if they have this brush anymore, but that's what you want to look for. If you're looking for a nice bronzer brush, this is a nice one to have. One that's kind of angled like that, but then it's kind of fluffy as well. So you can get in there, like I said, and just put it on and then just buff it out. You can even get on your forehead. I mean, I love this brush. So that's what you want to look for if you're looking for a contour brush. Let's talk about some eye brushes. I have a lot of eye brushes, and you really don't have to use a lot of eye brushes if you don't want to. Sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I will use two brushes. Sometimes I'll only use two brushes. If I'm in a big hurry, I will only use two brushes. I'll show you those two brushes that I use if I'm in a big hurry. I don't have time. I'm like, I have to hurry up, get my makeup on, get out the door, okay? So the two brushes that I would recommend is a nice crease brush. Now I have two, so I'll show you both of them. They're both from Sephora, and they are one of them's the number 19, which is this one, and the other one is the number 38, which is this one. So you can see that one. See how nice and fluffy that is? See how both of them are? So really, in reality, you can take your color, you can apply it, and then you can blend it in. This is a crease brush. They both are crease brushes. This one looks a little bit fluffier, but it might be because I have to wash it and I could be using it more. I don't know, but what I will do is I will apply my color and blend it out. And even if I'm in a if I'm in a really big hurry and I don't want to use my other blending brush, I'll just use this brush to put my color all over, wipe it off, blend, 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 blend. Put the outside color on, blend, 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 blend. I wouldn't use this to put the color in here, but sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'm just going to do like a really quick eye look that I'm not doing the shimmer and all that. So I love these. I love these brushes. Would highly recommend it. So if you are looking for a crease brush, that's what you want to do. You do not want to use something like this. Do you see how skinny that brush is? Do you see how little that brush is? I don't even know what you would use this brush for. This is the number E47 brush, and I don't like it. I just feel like it's just so wimpy and so thin. Maybe you could use that underneath your eyebrow like that to add a little bit of highlighter, but I would not use something like this for all over your eyes. It's just too small, you know what I mean? You're gonna get a streaky look. You're not gonna get a really nice look with a brush that's that little. You wanna get a brush like these to apply your color. To see how much nicer that is if I'm gonna apply my color, do you see how much area I can get with it? And now look at this brush, look at, it's just way too small. So you don't want to use something like that. You want to use something like this. And another tip, and I've shared this before, but I just want to share it again. When you're holding your makeup brushes, don't hold your makeup brushes like that. You're going to put too much pressure on. You're not going to have as much control. You want to bring your hand back and you want to apply it like that. You'll have a lot more control. You'll be able to blend it out better. That's what you want to do. Another brush that I love, and I have two of these. They're the same brush. And it's from It Cosmetics. And it is the Fluffy Blending Brush. So you want to get a nice fluffy blending brush. I can't say that. You want to get a nice fluffy blending brush. So even though you can use this to do the crease and blend it, I just like to go the extra step and just blend it out a little bit more. I really, really like a nice blended look. I don't want to see a line outside here. I want it to look seamless. So that's what I get with this brush. I love it. I've been using these for several years now. They're nice and soft. So when you're looking for one, that's what you want. See how nice and fluffy that is? Now this is a little bit different. Can you see the difference between my blending brush and my contour brush? Or my crease brush. See how my crease brush is a little bit more pointed, so you can get right in here and there, and you have that point there. You don't have that with this. So this is just a nicer brush for blending it out. A brush that I really like to use on my outside, there's a couple brushes I'm going to show you that I like to use on my outside corner. So I usually like to, except for today because I did like a smoky eye look. So normally what I do on my outside corner is I will do a little bit of a darker color in here. Now, like I said, when I'm in a hurry, sometimes I will use my crease brush and do it. I'm not going to get as nice of a clean look with that when I do that, but if I'm in a really big hurry, that's what I do. And this is a really nice brush for your outside V. Can you see how you can just take the color, you put it right here, get it on the tip, you get it right here, bring it up. It's almost like using a paintbrush. That's what I feel like. But it's not a wimpy brush like that one. This still isn't good for that. This is really good. So this is the Sigma E45 brush. Love this brush. It just makes doing that outside V so much easier. I love it. You could even use this underneath if you wanted to. You could put color down there and smoke it out if you wanted to. Love that brush. Another one to use for your outside corner, and this is really, really nice if you're like, well, I'm really uncomfortable doing that, I'm not sure about that. This is a nice brush. So this one is from Luxie. It's the 150 flat angled blender. Now that's what it's called, it's a flat angled blender. But what I do with this, because can you see how it's kind of short here and then it gets a little bit longer there? Do you see that? So what I like to do with this, I kind of cheat a little bit on my outside corner, on my outside V. So I will take this brush and I will place it in the color, tap, tap, tap it off. Then I will place the longer end down here and the shorter up there like this. Do you see how it fits on there? And I will just bring it up like that and bring it up just like that on the corner. And that makes doing that little outside contour or V or whatever a lot easier to do. Love that brush. This brush is a blending brush. Sometimes I have used it as a blending brush lately, but for the most part I don't. It's kind of dirty. I'm wiping it off as I'm talking to you. So this is a natural bristle brush. This is from Sigma. This is the E25 brush. So it's a blending brush. So what you could do with this is you could get in here and you can blend with it. But do you see the difference between those two? I just prefer to use a fluffier brush. I just feel like it tugs at my skin less and really, really blends. So this brush, what I usually use it for is to get that little bit of a shimmer that I put in. I don't have it on today, but I will just wet this brush, put it in my shimmer, tap it off, and I will just put it on. It just works really, really well for me. The shape of it, just everything works great for me. So I love using this for my shimmer, but you can use it to blend your shadow too. So this one is from It Cosmetics. I don't know the name of it. I think it's called a smoky eye brush or something like that. I will put the links below because it says nothing on here anymore. but this is what I use underneath my eyes. This is what I use today to get that little bit of a smoky eye look above with my eyeliner. And it's just a nice pointed brush, and you will see that. So it makes it really, really easy to get under your lash line, and it's really nice to smoke things out. So I absolutely love this brush. So if you want to get a smoky eye brush, this is the kind of brush you want to get. You want to get something short like that, that's pointed, or like I said, you could use this, but see how much bigger that is? This you're going to get a lot more control with. Do you see the difference? So you can use this one, but you're going to get a lot more control with that one. This is a necessity if you have your brows. So this is my Anastasia brush. I don't think it has a name on it or a number, does it? It does. Okay, so this is the number 12 from Anastasia. So one side is angled, the other side, I feel like I keep taking hair off everything. The other side is just a little spoolie. So I love this. What I've been doing differently with my brows lately is I've been using a stencil. So I use this side for my stencil, and I use my powder with this side. Then I use this to just go in and shape it up like that. You know, not shape it up, but brush it up and brush it through. That's what I use. I really like it because it's a nice stiff brush. This is a nice stiff brush too, which I think is really, really important when you're doing your brows. This brush is from SEPHORA, and this is the number 22. So it's number 22, and it is an angled brush. This can be used for so many things. What I have been using this brush for lately is I've been using this for my concealer underneath my brows. So after I do my brows, then I use concealer, that little concealer pencil. I don't have it in front of me, from Anastasia, and I will take this, and it fits in here perfectly so I can blend it out really nice. It's nice and flat and nice and small, so I can get in there and do that. Another thing that this is really good for that I've used for is I've even used this to line my eyes. So I'll use a cream eyeliner, and I will use this right there too. So it's really nice and thin and makes it easy to do that too. Or you could use this to do your brows, although I prefer the Anastasia one because it's a little stiffer and I think it works better. So I'm just making sure there's only one more brush that I wanted to share with you guys. And this is my eyebrow and my lash comb. Can you see that? So this again is from It Cosmetics. And I love this. I've had this for several years. I'm going to be honest, I don't use this side all the time, but I definitely use this side. This side I use if my lashes seem to be clumpy. Lately I have this little bald spot here by my lashes. I don't know why, so I've been using this to get in there and kind of maneuver my lashes to kind of bring them closer together so it doesn't look like I have a bald spot. But I think this is really, really important to have in your brush set, just because you, like I said, if your lashes get clumpy or whatever, it's just good to brush through and have that. If you don't have a nice spoolie, then you can use this as well, but I prefer the spoolie because I think it's better, but it is nice to have that. So that is it, guys. I just wanted to go through my brushes, share what I think that is important to have and what you should look for. Really quick before I leave, I just wanted to share this, and I don't have it in front of me. If I remember, I will pop it up there. But just really quickly, I always clean my brushes. I don't clean them. I'm going to tell you, I don't clean my brushes every week. I just find that if I over clean them, I find that they can get dry, so I don't do that. But I would say probably every 3 to 4 weeks, I'm just being honest with you, that's when I clean my brushes. I can kind of tell, you know what I mean? Like I'm looking at them now looking like they're gonna need to be cleaned. And then I will clean them. And what I use to clean my brushes is the Beauty Blender soap. It's the Pro one. That's what I use. It works really, really well. It gets everything out, and it doesn't dry my brushes out. So I just wanted to throw that in there really quick. I just take this to my brushes, swirl it in there, rinse it out, and then I let them dry in a towel. And I always make sure that when I'm drying them on the towel that I make sure and I reshape them. So if they look like this, I make sure that I just take my hand and just shape it so then when it's laying down there drying on the towel that, you know, once it's dry, it's gonna have its shape. So I just want to throw that in there real quick. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Really hope that it was helpful and informative. Please make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it, and let me know what your favorite brush is. Leave that in the comments below. I'd love to know what your favorite brush is, or if you have a favorite brand of brush, let me know in the comments below. And that is it. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye.